It was such a surprise to see you all in that procession. Actually, I was waiting and waiting, and I thought, why these people are not coming to call me for puja. It was a beautiful surprise. It's very joy-giving. Give me the other one. It's to put this one. It's all right. The joy was dancing in your eyes. I could see the lights in your eyes. And this is the real Diwali. Diwali word comes from two words, Deepa, Deepa and Avali. Deepa means, lights, and Avali means rose. Rows and rows of lights. It seems it's a very, very ancient idea. And all over in the world, you see, whenever they have to celebrate something, then they put lights. And lights, because light gives joy, gives happiness. So to overcome the darkness of ignorance, also we have to enlighten ourselves. And that is why it's important that everybody should get self-realization, to feel the light within themselves. And you must have noticed that after realization, the eyes also sparkle. This light in the eyes of every Sahaja. Today is the day when we worship the Lakshmi, Lakshmi principle, which is in our Nabhi. Lakshmi principle that is understood, I have told you many a time, described Lakshmi to you, that she stands on a lotus and she has two lotuses in her hands. That means she's so benevolent, so kind, that she doesn't pressurize anyone. But normally you don't find that. Anybody who has money, he just try to pressurize or try to push down. Even in Sahaja Yoga, I've seen people like that. If they're a little better off, they try to push people, organize them, to control them. As if they think this is a power they have got out of the money that they have. But she herself stands on a lotus. That means on the beauty of a being is shown that she doesn't trouble anyone, she can stand on a flower. So the first thing, those who have to worship Lakshmi have to remember one thing, that they are not to pressurize anyone, to push anyone, to control anyone, or destroy. But she with her feet on the lotuses nourishes the lotus. Now 2 hands she has got lotuses. Lotus is a sign of beauty, and they being pink is love. So, what does it symbolize? That a person who has Lakshmi, who has money, who has wealth, should be extremely generous, like a lotus which allows a horrible gnat-like black porky poking thigh, little beetle, also to come into it and to sleep. And she provides in the lotus a beautiful bed of comfort to such a person. He is black, he's got thorns in it, but he is coming to rest, surrendered. And then she covers it with her petals and makes it comfortable and protected. So for a person who has money, that should be the temperament. Otherwise he loses his money very fast. Or he's always insecure about his money. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to put money here, hide there, hide there, hide there. And there's no grace about such a person. And the house is such that you never feel comfortable because all the time they are worried the carpet will be spoiled, this will be spoiled, that will be spoiled, that should not be spoiled. What's the use of having such a house which gives you a headache? Well, common sense. A house should be such where you can live freely, at least a house should be there. But the soon we become materialistic, we get out of our Lakshmi principle. All the beauty of our wealth is finished. I have seen people that even a rat doesn't enter their house, leave alone human beings. They polish their silver, they polish their brass, they polish their furniture, their beautiful house is done with beautiful paper, expensive thing. But a rat also doesn't enter. And this is what is the Western materialism is. That we get so much worried about everything. I asked them, why are you so much worried? They said, because it's an investment. We have to sell the house. Everything is an investment. They themselves are investments, I think. How will they enjoy? They cannot enjoy their wealth because everything seems to be an investment. Their heads is an investment, their hair investment, nose investment, ears investment, everything is an investment. What's this of becoming human beings? You are just nothing but investments. Doesn't matter if the house is little bit sold, you get little less priced. What does it matter? After all, you have lived in that house. But I've seen that it's very common that if a guest is sitting and the child spills something, immediately before the guest will start cleaning it. It's very bad manners. What is this carpet worth than a human being? So the Lakshmi principle is to understand that matter is for expression of your love. How much you do for others, how much comfort you can give to others. I have seen some people, I've been to some people, that the Lakshmi, the woman who is in the house, won't even look after the tea of the people, nothing, she's just enjoying herself and bothering about the carpets or I don't know, about the soap, about this, but it's so low level, it's not even a humanistic thing. So Lakshmi principle means love. This very few people understand. To them Lakshmi means money in the bank. No, it doesn't mean that. It means money or anything like that to express your love. The another symbolic thing about her is she's a mother. And mother just gives, nirvaj. She doesn't charge any interest for what she gives. She just gives. Her enjoyment is giving. I mean, I always think, what should I cook for you? If I can do this, I can buy this, I can buy this present for you. I mean, Diwali is a good day for me that I can give you so many things that I want to give you. And I love it. Nothing like the joy of giving. If you have more things, it's a headache. It's a headache. But you think that I have to buy this thing now. What should I buy for? Oh, I have to give it to this person. This will fit that person, all right. So it relates to the collective feeling, a very beautiful feeling. So the Western people have to understand that materialism has gone too far into their heads. Everything to be insured. For what? But in India, if you have such people, I know, one or two people are like that in a city, small city, then if they see in the morning these people, they'll go and have a bath. Or if they are seeing somebody coming from that side of that kind, they'll just go in the other way around. I asked, I said, Baba, that is when he's coming, he's a horrible materialistic fellow. Better go this way. But here in the West, what should you do? Everybody is like that. Where should you hide yourself? So we have to realize, in all introspection, we have to realize that we have gone too much into materialism. That doesn't mean that you should not make money. That doesn't mean you should not work. You should be lethargic. That you should say that Mother has said now, let us be lotus eaters. Not that. Try to understand. If you are making money, it is just to give. Then otherwise your situation will be bad. You will be always insecure about money. And those who have money, instead of feeling secure, they are already shaking like this, I have seen them. So what is the use of having? It's better not to have anything like that shakes you. Better to settle down with a little hut somewhere and enjoy Sahaja. So Lakshmi Tattva is not money-oriented. Supposing you take a dog or take a donkey and put lots of notes on that, will you call him a Lakshmipati? Or take another human being who has got 10 cars to show off, has got a swanky car, and who is nervous, twitchy. Will you call him a Lakshmipati? There is no grace. In this kind of money that people have. They are crazy. They have no traditions. They have no sweetness, nothing in them. They are dry, as if the whole juice has been taken out of the sugar cane. They are like that. And nobody wants to go to such houses. But to be very frank, in such houses, if I eat, I get vomiting. My Lakshmi doesn't like it. So you should feel obliged that you can give to others. You should feel obliged that you can do for others. This is first sign of a Sahaja. I should say, but what I've heard from many people, that people don't like to spend any money for Sahaja. They'll spend for anything else. They'll take some, what you call the face, what you call them, cosmetics. Or men may buy something expensive, watches and things. But for Sahaja, they don't want to spend. Now you have to know that Sahaja is for the emancipation of the whole world. What is this cosmetic going to do for the whole world? Or your watch, what is it going to do? Or the way you dress up, or the way you try to show off, is it going to help the world? You are here to help the world and not to decorate yourself and just to make advantage of Sahaja. So it's very blissful. Sahaja is extremely blissful. It gives you first the glimpse of Lakshmi, that it gives you money. You are blessed. And then, that is the first temptation. And you fall a prey and you go down. So this Lakshmi principle is to be understood in its proper way. For Sahajogis it is very important because it is not so superficial as we think. It is much deeper within us. And when we touch our depth, it shows. Then there are two other symbols we see. With left hand, she gives. I've given this simile many a times that if you open one door, the air won't come in, you have to open the other door. So it circulates. She must give. So all those who have Lakshmi Tattva developing them, they think of what to give. But they don't give the worst thing that they have, just like a waste paper basket is a friend. This is useless, I better, instead of throwing, I can give it to that friend. And then friend says, all right, it's very nice, I'll give it to another friend. And all friends are used as waste paper baskets. Whatever is the worst is given. How can you touch your depth? Whatever is the best, if you can give. If you are free to give, you should give the best. So one of the snacks is that we have never learned the art of giving. If we learn the art of giving, then it's so joyous, so beautiful. Because we are very ego-oriented. We understand what gives us joy, but we don't understand what will give joy to others. And when we understand what will give joy to others, then that joy reflects on us much more, 1,000 times. But there is then, as I said, that on the periphery both things work out. From one side are the miserlies, from the other side are the exploiters. So if you become generous, the exploiters are there. So then an antithesis. Another type of people become who get nervous, who don't know what to do, where to. In Sahaja, you do trust people all the time. You give. Of course, sometimes you are exploited. So it doesn't matter. That's not your lookout. You have not committed any sin. The one who has exploited you has committed the sin and he is going to suffer. So why should you worry? But with the help of this divine power, the one who exploits you will suffer. And you will get 10 times more than what you have lost. This is what it is to be understood by Sahajogis, that we are now blessed by this divine power. We are not alone. All the time is blessing us. So giving means nothing is mine. My has to be. Even in Sahaja, I was surprised that people in the West who were not attached to their children get very much attached to their children. And they just think about their children and nothing else. This is another kind of selfishness. If you just think of your own children only and nobody else, then the same children will become devils and teach you a lesson. And you'll say next life, oh God, don't give me any children. Had enough. But if you make the child collective and teach child to give others and to enjoy that, then from the very childhood the child becomes extremely generous. And generosity is the quality, is of an incarnation, Aishwarya. Aishwarya doesn't mean only the money, the wealth, but generosity excels the money. That is his Aishwarya. And that is the sign of an incarnation and sign of a surgeon. The another hand is like this. That means she gives you protection. If you don't feel protected with money, throw it away. Just run away from it. Headache. But also she gives protection to others. A person who has Lakshmi, he has family, he has children, he has everyone. The worst thing I have seen, that in the West, the parents don't give any money to their children when they grow up. Then don't look after them, but they are so possessive. On the contrary, in India, we give all our lives to our children and we are least possessive. And they are even possessive of the grandchildren. That's why the families are like this here. So the whole system has gone, in a funny way, chaotic. So it is important for Sahaj Yogis to understand that they will, first of all, look after their children, give them whatever they need, nourish them, give them guidance, don't spoil them. And secondly, once they are married and have children, they will not try to possess them and possess their children, their wives. And this protection that is given is the protection of a mother. Say you are working in an office, you are working in a hospital, you are working in a factory, anywhere you are. All other people who are working under you are your children, are to be treated like that, and they have to feel like that. They have to feel it's a family. Try this. My husband, I told him that you treat your office as your family. So early in the morning they used to arrive from Calcutta about, say, 5 o'clock by plane. And I would myself cook their breakfast and give it to them. They were just ordinary clerks. Because this is how, through the protection, through the care, through the love, you can make them so dynamic. And that is how the Lakshmi Tattva will increase. Otherwise there will be strikes, there will be fights. This is enlightenment. That's why a person who thinks he is capitalistic must understand that a capital is worth nothing if you don't know how to use your Lakshmi principle. That's why they end up in jail, they end up in lunatic asylums, or they become smugglers, or something happens to them. They just go off. They are never respectable. And I haven't seen any statue of a man who has been garlanded for being rich. So if you are rich, nobody is going to respect you. But for generosity, something substantial. What have you done? Something substantial. For others, for the society, for such. We are working out now ashrams and projects and things and all that. But when it comes to money, Sahaj Yogis think, no, that's not my job. Only I can send my child there. Mother must look after all the children, mother must do this, mother must find out this, she must provide for this, everything she should do. Now what about me? I'll just put money in the bank. Swiss bank especially. So one has to decide how much of my money I am giving for the work of Sahaja Yoga. I don't want your money. No money is to be given for Sahaja Yoga in the sense for your realization. But if you have to have a hall, if you have to have a program, if you have to have an ashram, anything is to be done, you need money. And for that, anybody asks, all right, give £1 each. They won't give. No, why should I give £1? And there's a national competition in that, national competition. It shows that still you have not touched your depth. If you touch your depth, you'd give and you'd enjoy your giving. You must touch your depths. So the enlightenment is yet not complete. Now, I'm saying it to you all individually. You introspect yourself and see for yourself. Let us see, count how much money have I given for Sahaja Yoga work. All of us. Individually. Now, it will give me present because you think that gives you blessings. That's not the point. Point is how much money I have kept for Sahaja out of my income. This is the first question of Lakshmi principle. Now, how the Mahalakshmi Tattva comes in? First the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is born out of the sea. Now, why she was born out of the sea? She was born out of the sea because her father is a generous personality. Look at the sea. It spreads its wings all over, gets itself heated up completely so that clouds are made, and these clouds go and bang at those high mountains where it rains. They form the rivers and then they come back to the sea. But all this while the sea contains all the salt within itself. All the salt is within itself. And then it gives salt. Christ has said, you are the salt. What is the salt? Salt which gives the taste to food is your guru principle. You cannot become a guru, you cannot become a leader if you are a miserly person. You cannot. How horrible it would look, just imagine. So she is born out of the guru principle. And this guru principle starts working in you when you have this Lakshmi principle awaken you. Not money, I am not saying money. It's the Lakshmi principle.